Before we begin, this video will have text-to-speech audio due to an individual within this fandom cloning people's voices and using them for AI to cause them harm. I do not wish to take that risk, so you will be hearing text-to-speech audio for the duration of this video. I hope you understand. Like last time with our prior video, this will probably be a long video. As well, there's several sensitive topics that are going to be mentioned in this video. This list will be shown here. If you're bothered by any of these topics, please click off the video now. Also, like last time, please do not harass or attack anyone mentioned in this video. Under no circumstances is this appropriate for the situation. The best thing to do in this situation is to block these users and to distance yourself from them. Do not talk to them, just block them and leave them alone. This video is intended to present and discuss potential wrongdoings of these users based on the information available to us in order for others to come to their own conclusions regarding this matter and these users. Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Mod Cagney, previously known as Mod Deramu from the blog Mobox Critique. We're surprised the last video did so well. Thank you all so much for your ongoing support with it. We have been planning on making a part 2, however things out of our control have prevented it from being made. This includes our editor ceasing to work, causing us to lose our footage we had already made, and updates coming at us too quickly for us to cover it all at once. Once we have a more reliable editor and are able to compile everything in an orderly manner, we will make a part 2. First things first though, a bit of an update with our blog as well. Springtrap has since left the blog in the time that this video is being made, but we got a new mod, which is a dear close friend of mine named Mod Patty. However, our blog has been on a hiatus for a few months due to the Anons they're lacking media literacy. At this time, we do not feel like coming back to it, but our archive we had made is still up in case you would want to find lost media. This will be in the description. As well, you can contact me on my personal blog Just Cagney on Tumblr if you would like to speak with me. This video is mainly about the fanbase of Mobox87 herself. It is not surprising that with someone who makes content like Mobs would have such a strange fanbase full of harassment, and things just as bad as what Mob had done in the past. Of course, not everyone in this fanbase is like this, but these people within it make up a loud, vocal minority that is very hard to avoid. Let's start with the tame ones and then move into the ones with ongoing situations against them. Madbox, also known as InsanityBox, is a user who is known for trolling people within Mob's fandom and spreading strange hate comments. Going as far as to impersonate Mob herself, which Mob has taken awareness to. However, this user has been prone to harassing other people within the fanbase, spamming them with derogatory comments and sexualizing Mob's persona on multiple occasions, one under the guise of Mob herself. We do not support Madbox's actions obviously, as he is one of the people within this video, but he is one of the bad eggs who are against Mob's behavior, and we do not condone his actions here at Mobox Critique. Back in 2021, Mobox had started to sell her characters relating to her old project FPT, or Faces of Nothing, FON for short, as she had cancelled the project. Some recognizable faces had bought these characters, such as our archivist on Mobcrit getting Phantom Scott back when she used to support Mob, and another person who shall not be named. We cannot name them because they have a history of sending legal threats, but has a history of stealing designs from our archivist's best friend amongst other things. But the one who still buys characters to this day, and the one who has bought the most characters from Mob as a whole, is someone who goes by the name of Miles. Before I begin, I would like to let you know that Miles used to be trans, but detransitioned at the time of this video. She goes by she/her now, but we are not calling her by her new name, Belle-Ice, due to context which will be given later. Miles is a known groomer, and possibly a pedophile. Knowing the fact that the majority of characters she buys are children is very strange. Knowing this situation within Mob's fandom, having admitted to grooming a 16-year-old IRL to our archivist last year. She is also someone who is known to hoard and barely draw the characters she buys from Mob and hang around other people who could be easily influenced by her, or just bad people in general. Having the mentality in the past that only she can use the characters she bought from Mob and harassed people who had drawn or used them prior. These days she does not do this as much, but she has harassed people who have made ship art of his characters that she bought, albeit that person had made NSFW of child characters, so reporting the account was warranted there, and has harassed people over rewrites of Affinity, mobs FNAF AU, that use her characters, as well as changing crucial things such as a character's age or sexuality to get back at people who do the smallest things, like shipping the characters that he had bought from Mob with a pairing they like or shipping them with their own OCS. As well, she also has a history of shipping incest. Our archivist had made a video where this is discussed in short form, but basically Miles got a variant of a character known as Belle Ice from Faces of Nothing FPT, and she changed the character's name, she changed it to Alice, and slightly changed her appearance in order to ship her with her brother, Beltren. The person who Miles had gotten Belle Ice from was very disgusted by this, and managed to get Belle Ice back from Miles as well as the version of her that Miles had made to ship with Beltren. What many don't know is that Miles has actually done this fairly recently a second time, and that's where we make a segue into our next section. Aftonsocks, or just Socks, is a close friend of Miles. He is also someone who is known to hoard characters and barely draw them, but he has aided in shipping incest with Miles and tried to save face when confronted on the matter. Our archivist has discussed this in a video she had made that will be touched upon later, but in short, Miles bought the characters Vincent and Scott from Mobox87's Bite of 87 video, and she and Socks decided to not make them siblings just so that they could be shipped together despite them being brothers in canon. When this was made known to our archivist, as our archivist was speaking with Miles in the past, she doesn't speak with Miles anymore as she has no reason to speak with her now since she got all she could ever want from her, nor does she want to speak with her at all. She had said that the ship had made her uncomfortable since Vincent and Scott were brothers in canon, causing Miles to throw a temper tantrum and hide from the public that she was shipping Mob's versions of these characters, making it under the guise of Purple Guy x Phone Guy, which were what Vincent and Scott were representing in Affinity respectively, afterwards leaving Tumblr for a while. When Socks was confronted on this matter, he tried to save face and acted like he wasn't involved when he was, as he had agreed to the ship and made ship art for the pairing. What's worse, is that Miles had bought Vincent in December of 2023, and that ship art was made in the exact same month. Our archivist was made aware of Miles shipping this incestuous pairing in October of 2024, so Miles and Socks had been shipping this pairing together in secret for a while. After this matter, our archivist had gotten into an argument with Socks, as he had refused to take down some images that he didn't own of a character he had gotten from Miles that our archivist used to own. This situation was soon settled, but it led to our archivist cutting off Socks in a lengthy note, as she believed that Socks didn't seem to know when enough was enough when dealing with Miles like she had. This caused Socks to speak with someone who has tried to slander our archivist and tell him nothing but lies about her about an OC that the two had co-owned. Socks had no proof to back up his false claims, and Kev debunked them in her video by showing recorded evidence that his claims were false. However, this video will be spoken upon later as it is a rather long topic and will have its own section within this video. Thavidu 22, or just Thavidu, is a known pedophile in the fandom that Miles has continued to hang around with. He did a incestuous CP roleplay, has drawn CP before, and has a known incest fetish with children, as shown with his content for FON and Sassy's Place, another cancelled work of Mob's. He also has a history of trying to force his ship of Beltren x Belle Ice on people, forcing it upon prominent artists in the fandom such as Gender Tokahoshi, also known as Enzo or Yuki. She started to draw the ship on her own after Thavidu forced it upon her though, and forced it upon people who used to be in a server for FON that is now defunct. Thavidu also has a history of harassing his main victim of his wrongdoings. That being a woman who we will call Toka, an ex-friend of Thavidu. Toka has made several videos documenting her experiences, as they've tried to force his fetishes onto her. She was also the one who had messaged us about the incest OU's CP roleplay as he tried to force it upon her, was contacted by Thav multiple times on Facebook despite her not wishing to be contacted, and he even got his mother involved with Toka out of desperation for Toka to come back to him. However, they have all been compiled into one video for easy access. This video is something our archivist has compiled together and allowed for us to put on our YouTube channel for safekeeping. The link to it will be in the description below. Remember that person who had slandered our archivist that we mentioned in Socks section? Well, this is the person whom this section is about. These last 2 sections are ongoing, so if there are any updates, we will, hopefully, be able to let you know in our pinned comment of this video. Mina Suzuya, or just Mina, actually used to be our friend. He has supported us on the blog back when it was active, and was even in a group chat with us where me and some friends hang around. However, he was kicked out of our group chat for leaking info to the public within our group chat that was meant to be kept private at the time, such as how much Miles had spent on characters he bought from Mob, what new ones he bought, etc. Though what was found out after he was kicked out from the group chat had made us feel rather betrayed. As it turns out, Mina had been sexualizing minors behind all of our backs, making transformation fetish art of a known 14-year-old character, Asuka from NGE, and made some rather strange comments about a known minor character, Chloe in Affinity, but in FNAF canon she is the girl with orange pigtails in FNAF 4, on his old NSFW Instagram account. He had even gone as far as to sexualize Mob's 16-year-old Sona for fetish content, as shown within the tags of the post and the way he drew Mob's persona in these images. As well, he had encouraged a rather strange pairing that we will speak of in a later section of this video. While he was still in the group chat, Mina had tried to force me to reblog a post about another person in this community. His name is Arion, another known pedophile in this fandom who is known to impersonate people who call him out. He would have been in this video, but we do not know much about him here at Mobcrit, so we wouldn't be the right ones to speak of the matter regarding him. However, I was uncomfortable with reblogging the post Mina wanted me to reblog due to its contents containing things such as uncensored CP and 9/11 images. And as someone from the US, I feel like I have a right to be uncomfortable at the latter, despite how much it's joked about now. Since I don't know much about Arion other than the few things I've stated prior, and that the post wasn't really relevant to what we discuss on Mobcrit, we post about the FNAF community and Mob's works, not real-life tragedies like 9/11, I had said that it wasn't my place to reblog it. Soon after, Mina and his posse decided to gang up on me due to not reblogging the post. His posse had included someone who we will discuss in a later section of this video, but they had pressured me into reblogging the post anyway after a little while despite my discomfort. However, despite doing what he asked me to do by reblogging the post, Mina complained that I didn't wish to reblog the post even though I had done so already. I had messaged him in the group chat about this, but Mina decided to ignore it, leading to this being one of the reasons that he was kicked from the group chat. After this, Mina started speculating about us even though we had wanted to be left alone. So I had left a few replies on his posts telling him to stop. However, Mina continued to speculate and said that Cagney and company are just mad that I was kicked from the group chat, so that led for our archivist to come in and explain the many reasons as to why Mina was kicked from the group chat, including defending a minor friend of his who has a history of romanticizing abuse with her depiction of William X. Renata. FNAF fans could also call this act as willcare, and had requested our archivist to write them a NSFW fanfic involving the ship William X. Renata, a request that our archivist obviously refused. This led for Mina to tell our archivist to kill herself even though Mina knew that our archivist used to be suicidal. After this, our archivist had found out about the fetish art Mina had made as it was sent to her by someone else, causing her to make a document and later a video that we have referenced throughout this very video about the matter and someone who is part of Mina's posse, who Mina is close with. Red Radiant, or just Red, is one of the many people in this fandom who like the character of Brandy Afton, one of the missing children in Affinity, a little too much. He ships his Sona with Brandy even though she is canonically 8 years old, aging her up to ship himself with her only new traits being tall with big tits and having that be the feature presentation. These types of people are actually a big problem in the fandom, with Mob making multiple posts about people sexualizing Brandy and making people draw her with Frederick and Alfred, 2 of the other missing children in Affinity, for their sick kicks. Mina has encouraged this ship, making them canon in his rewrite of Affinity and even drawing them in poses referencing the game The Coffin of Andy and Lele, all while reblogging this really weird comment Red made towards Brandy. Speaking of being strange towards women, Red had actually sexually harassed our archivist back in 2020 on Amino, when our archivist was 17 and Red was 16 to 17 respectively. Our archivist's name is Kevin, and this incident happened just 2 weeks after her and Red met. With Red asking her out but with Kevin denying him, stating that she was uncomfortable with being in online relationships at the time. However, Red persisted, and Kev denied him again. This did not seem to be enough for Red though, as he later publicly confessed that he had a crush on Kevin, leaving her humiliated. He was confronted in a group chat about this matter, and I would like for you to take note that Kev had asked for him to leave her alone and to let her relax at least 6 times, but Red refused to even do that, disrespecting her boundaries even there. After which, there was a voice chat that Red was a part of but Kev was unable to join. After the voice chat ended, Kevin had asked the people within what Red had said, basically stating that he would do anything for her and that he had wanted to send her gifts to her address. Some years later, Kevin had forgotten the extent of Red's sexual harassment and messaged him thinking that he was simply one of the victims of amino drama back in the day. He had shown her a redraw of a piece he made as a teenager of him and Brandy, which she thought was strange, but she didn't think he still shipped himself with Brandy at the time and didn't want any confrontation, so she spoke nothing of it. However, once Kev saw that Red still shipped himself with Brandy due to Minor making this ship canon in his Affinity rewrite, her memories of the sexual harassment came back and she retracted her stance on not wishing to say anything about the matter. After Kev had called him out for these behaviors in the document, Red made a video on the matter, making strange excuses such as, "I couldn't have sexually harassed Kev, I was a minor," when anyone could be sexually harassed at any age, and it was never recorded, so it never happened, which is an excuse that is prevalent in rape culture. As well as hiding Minor's wrongdoings by censoring his NSFW art of Chloe to the point where you couldn't tell what was going on in the image and outright refusing to show the Asuka fetish art, being ableist towards Kevin due to her typing quirk of adding a letter at the end of a sentence, which she has stated before that it makes her comfortable as an autistic person to type in the way she does, and mixing up her OCS with characters within her special interest from 2003 that she had made a fanfic for, clearing showing that he did no research on Kev before making the video about her. Minor has also defended him with this, making a document that basically has the same things prevalent within and defending Red. In response, Kev made a rather in-depth video, which we highly recommend you watch, discussing everything involving Minor and Red that I had previously stated here, with Minor and Red quickly noticing the video. While Minor was busy making memes about the situation, albeit with an incorrect timeline of events, and defending Red's ableism, all while slandering Kev by calling her a narcissist when she isn't diagnosed with it. If she were, she would have been diagnosed a long time ago. Red started to milk the situation, making the only shorts he has on his YouTube be about his video that he made in response to Kev's doc to try and bury her video. However, Red also has ignored concerns of privacy with this situation. Not just with this, but with people he associates with as well. On November 21st, prior to Kev's video releasing, I had asked Minor for a personal favor. I had made him swear on his life that he wouldn't make our conversation public, but he did so anyway. This favor was to ask Red to censor Kev's socials in his video he had made about her and Mob due to privacy concerns, such includes her handles and her old icons usernames, as there are people out there who could hurt her, which why Kev's socials were censored in her video about this whole situation. However, Red refused to do this, instead doubling down and showing her socials within his shorts on the matter. Obviously I censor them here. Please note, to address the last screenshot, Kev has told me herself that the following of Red on her reblog account was a complete and total accident. She didn't even know she had followed him until she found out he had blocked her there and had meant to follow someone else. If she was trying to harass you, sir, then she would have come to your Tumblr DMs and called you names or whatever, but she didn't do that. It was a total accident and for that she's sorry. After he had finally finished milking the situation for all it's worth, I sent in a privacy complaint to YouTube about this matter as he has not only refused to handle my request, but doubled down on the matter with his shorts. Soon after this, Red made a video falsely claiming that Kev made this complaint and that the timestamps were for her old art. This is untrue. These timestamps were for the times her socials or old icons username were shown. Had made a comment his video he had made about the complaint discussing the matter, but Red swiftly deleted it to continue to push his narrative, refusing my request again. I know that Red had seen that I had spoken with Minor about this matter because he, that being Red, had blocked me on the account I used to speak with him, that being Minor. Red had responded to my comment a little while after this and is still refusing to meet my requests, claiming that he was keeping all parties safe. This is obviously false, as showing someone's socials when they do not wish for you to do so is in fact a safety concern. What he's doing is a privacy violation and him refusing my requests is clear that he doesn't care. The only person he has kept safe is Minor for censoring and blatantly not showing his NSFW art in his video so that people would be unaware of the extent of all that is done. But wait. Red hasn't kept Minor safe either, because he's also doxed him by showing his email, which has his real name, when Minor had clearly wanted it censored. One of Minor's channels got deleted and the two decided to take to Twitter to message YouTube about it. The doxing was in the first screenshot of Red's post, but as you can see, Minor had clearly censored his email in his own post. YouTube had even flagged this due to this matter. Though it's clear Minor doesn't care, as he commented on the post and spoke nothing of it, Red has a history of violating people's privacy, even towards those he works with, and this matter is no exception. After Red responded, Minor responded as well, but started to violate Kev's privacy as well by using the excuse of she made a video about the situation even though she had censored her socials in her video, clearly not wanting them to be shown. I'm very disappointed in Red due to this whole situation and frankly I would like for my requests to be met, which I doubt he'd ever meet them. What he is doing is a violation of privacy on Kev's end, and she wishes to be left alone from this whole situation, and has ever since her video released. Though it's clear that Red doesn't want to face the consequences for his actions on violating privacy matters and would rather pin the blame on someone who doesn't wish to be involved anymore with this. As of writing this video, this is all the current information we have regarding Mobox87's fanbase. We only made this video because of the many updates to the situation have grown more and more concerning, and people should know about these things about Mob's fanbase too, aside from the things that people already know about Mobox. Please just block the individuals mentioned in the video for your own safety. Don't talk to them, don't interact with them, just block them and report them. Please look in our pinned comment or my personal blog Just Cagney on Tumblr for more updates on the situation in the latter entries. We hope you guys have a good day and or night.